Let's get it started, man. Darrius, appreciate your time, man. August 23rd, Contender Series. Take us through getting that call, man. It's a good call to get.
Oh yeah, kind of was anticipating it. Um, Just the day that I got the call, there's a lot going on. Almost missed the call, lost my phone. Got the call, turned my day around. Been grinding. I've been grinding this whole year, so
Has it lit a fire, or has that fire always been there? You know what I mean? Nothing really changes.
yeah, nothing really changed for me. Um, Training is always simultaneous. It's always changing. Always learning new things. So nothing really changed other than like I grind. I grind hard. I do a lot of work on my own outside of the MMA gym. So other than that, but I've been doing that because I took like a year and 8 months off.
Mhm.
So after that hiatus, it's just been all about me. Putting a lot of work into myself. It's a lot of strength and conditioning. You know, that was always really not always, but for a while now, that's been the big thing that I needed. Was to focus on my strength and conditioning.
And do you do that on your own, or do you work with a,
Both,
a PT?
both. I was doing CrossFit. I cut back a little bit um, this past month, but I'm doing personal training with my CrossFit trainer and a lot of work on my own as well. But I've stayed consistent on the individual training. Like I said, I just cut back on some of the CrossFit training just to lean up a little bit.
You're facing a prospect. You know what I mean? He's coming all the way from Georgia, not Georgia in America, but the country Georgia. I feel like people will get confused. He's
Well,
really
I
good,
did
man.
like
He's a
the first
what's up?
30 minutes. I did for like the first 30 minutes. I was like, oh, he is from Georgia. And then
Yeah,
I looked, I actually seen the flag. I'm like, oh, Georgia.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Everybody gets confused, right? Like, it's the exact same. The word is the exact same. Anyways, yeah, he's a really good prospect, GFC champion. What is your breakdown of him, man, and the matchup?
He's a good fighter. I think he's like I say, he's an aggressive, emotional fighter, kind of dirty fighter. He's head on, straightforward, nothing really tricky. He wants to counter. Um, he has average wrestling, average grappling. Uh, so all around, he's a decent fighter. But that's it. That's my take on him.
It seems like when you look at his record that he either finishes the fight or really early or loses a decision. You know what I mean? When you see that, what does that say about his fighting style, or maybe even his game planning?
Well, if you look at his record, if you're going to actually spend time looking at his record, then you need to actually look at his record. Okay, the guy, his first fight was like at 16 years old. That they're counting as pro. 2016. He's 24 years old. Um, yeah, he's 24 years old or whatever. But he was like 17, 16 when he made his pro debut, and then those first 4 or 5 fights, he was about 17, maybe 18. His first loss was his first fight outside of the regional section, and he lost to a very average opponent. Um, and then it seems like GFC is a very close promotion. They set him up with guys that they know work for his fight style. Um, Rather his record alone, not they know that this fighter will work perfect for you. So I feel like he's been set up, even with some, like I said, people with good records. You know what I mean? Um, but he's a young, aggressive fighter. I've been there before where I wanted to knock everybody out.
Mhm.
So he has a long way to go. So I'm gonna just break him down with my cardio and with my fight IQ and my athleticism and my power. And I just think it's gonna be an easy fight for me.
You fought at middleweight a few times throughout your career, and I was just wondering, why did you decide to stick with 170 as your division?
Well, it's not my division. I'm a lightweight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm close to 170 right now. Well, I mean, yeah, I'm like 7 pounds overweight, 11 days out,
Mm-hmm.
just
Oh, that's
chilling,
nothing.
kind of walking around. But anyways, yeah, I'm a lightweight. This is my like half my fights, or a little bit more of a middleweight, and then like a little bit under half been welterweight. But even then, I wasn't putting the extra work in, bro. So, now that I am, it's just like this is my body weight. So I'm gonna go down the middleweight lightweight after this fight, and be the bigger guy. Um, I'll be smaller in this fight, but I'll still be a stronger, bigger guy too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right now you're riding a 3-fight win streak mostly under the LFA banner, man. When you look back at those performances, good or bad, does anything stick out to you?
My last 3 or just
the last 3.
Good or bad. I don't know. I planned on like working, getting some round work and all of them. Like my first one went to decision. I wasn't really gunning for a finish on that one. Because I had took a hiatus, so I needed some work. You know what I mean? So I got a unanimous decision. The second one, I planned on same thing, but I ended up the guy just once I started to fill him out in the second round, he wasn't. It was over with before you know it. Then the third round was like 20-something seconds in. I hit him with a big shot and finished it up. But I planned on grinding that one too. So you never really know. I plan on grinding this boy out. But you never know.
2020 was a year of missed opportunities for a lot of people, in sports. And then you came back, you fought once in 2021, suffered the setback. What kind of impact has that loss had on you as an athlete?
Which one?
The last loss that you suffered in 2021.
Well, I don't know, because if I know you're interviewing, but if anybody wanted to ask the question, then they should go look at the fight. My bad. They should go look at the fight itself. It wasn't very competitive. I was killing the kid. I was just fat and out of shape. I can blame it on sick for the week leading up to that fight. I should have pulled out. But like I said, at the time, I just wasn't putting the extra work in. Like, if I was to get sick now, I'll still be in great shape. But at that time, like, I had took a year and 8 months off at that time, almost 2 years. And then I had a nice little hiccup. Like, I was literally the sickest I ever been. But, like, I was killing the guy. And I really wasn't in the mindset that I am now about winning. Just thinking like win-win, because I still could have won that fight. But it didn't do anything to me negative. I still knew like I'm still going to make it. You know what I mean? But like he was like I said, it wasn't competitive. Took him down when I wanted to, how I wanted to. Hit him with like 50 significant strikes in the first round. He was hurt, and I don't know. If I did learn something from it, I learned not to be so aggressive, which I've already learned, but like just relearning it is like, yeah, not to be that fucking crazy. But it was an emotional thing. Like he didn't appreciate the fact that I still took the fight for him because we were the main event. You know what I mean? His hometown, and I was like telling him I was sick of his dog, and he was still talking shit. So I told him like, win or lose, I'm gonna fucking kill you in there and put you in the hospital. And I did put him in the hospital, and he did deserve it. But like, I'm salty about it because you know what I mean? I'm salty about it because he talked shit and he still talks shit, and I asked for a rematch. But I'm not really worried. He didn't want a rematch, but I'm not really worried about rematching anybody that beat me. They were the better man that night. Nobody that I fought was better than me, though. You know what I mean? But hey, I'm moving down to lightweight, so who cares?
Yeah, man. It seems like you've been through so much, man, the past couple of years. Competing at middleweight when you're supposed to be down at lightweight, competing at even welterweight. There's huge differences in weight. You know what I mean? When you're going down, especially from middleweight to welterweight to lightweight. So it's pretty incredible what you have accomplished.
Yeah, I wish we had those 10-pound jumps, you know.
Yeah,
but we don't.
Me too, man. I don't understand why they don't change it when they can change it right now if they really wanted to. You know what I mean? To be honest with you.
Yeah, but it is what it is, though.
Yeah, it is. Man, with all that you have gone through the past couple of years, man, and now it's coming to a head here on the Contender Series. You know, what are you expecting out of yourself? How do you expect yourself to defeat this guy and win that contract?
I don't know. I never really do. Sometimes it's like, oh yeah, I'm knocking the fuck out. But I don't know. I might knock him out fast. He's been rocked a couple times. And I say that because nobody has been trying to finish him on the feet, but he still got rocked. It's like my last guy, Highly, never been knocked out before me, but he had been rocked by Brandon Allen that's in the UFC. Dropped him for a slight second, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I know, you know what I mean? He can get flashbanged. So same thing with this guy. I know I can flashbang him for sure. The guy that hit him doesn't even hit like me at all. And anybody I fight is going to get hit clean. And you're going to hit, and if I hit you clean, you're going to keep getting hit clean. So I might knock him out. Or I might hurt him really bad. But I'm going to take him down, see how he feels. I might sub him. I might armbar. And if it's not armbar, then it'll be a rear naked choke or a guillotine. But more than likely, it'll be an armbar from anywhere.
All right.
But so armbar and knockout. I like arms.
Yeah, man. Well, I guess he's gonna have to look out for his arms, man, when he steps into that cage. One last thing.
Before too, but they wasn't serious about, like, you know what I mean. They switched it up from that to that, and I'm like, dude, if that was me, he's not heavy up top either, and I get heavy guys, like you know what I mean. But whatever.
All right, one last thing, man. Dana White, the first week of Contender Series this season, he said that he doesn't watch any of your fights ahead of the Contender Series. He is judging you solely on your performance that night. You know, how does that alter your approach to the fight?
Well, it doesn't alter my approach at all, because I'm not like what do you call it? Can't really pressure me into things. But anyways, Dana's my guy, but he's just saying that to get his ratings up on the show. And because, you know, he needs knockouts for the shows. He did his job. The next weekend it was like all knockouts, I think. Yeah. And then it was decent this past weekend or whatever. But Dana knows. Like, they talk to him. You know what I mean? At the very least, they let him know that, like, I got 8 knockouts, 11 wins. If I win unanimous decision and I look good, I'm still the contract. I'm not this kid. I'm not going to do what this kid wants to do. He's going to try to chase me around the ring and look silly. It's not going to happen. I don't want to, like, give my game plans away and shit, but, yeah, I'm a grown man in this sport now. So it's just, like, it's just going to be a bad night for him. He's a kid. You know, anything can happen from fighting. You know what I mean? Might slash some shit in there, catch me, whatever, walk the bam. That it happens, but it's highly unlikely. He's gonna come forward a lot, and I'm gonna be moving on the bike, and I'm gonna be cracking his ass. Like, yeah, and that's how it's gonna go. Dan's like, I know anybody's ever watched me fight remembers me forever.
Well, if you haven't seen Darrius fight, you will get a chance. August 23rd, Contender Series, Las Vegas, inside that UFC Apex. Darrius, appreciate the time, man. All the best in the fight and securing that contract.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you for having me on, man.